Hello everyone, I will discuss to you about the power series. Power series, an important function or fx is equal to e raised to x, can be represented exactly by infinite series called a power series. For example, the power series represented for e raised to x is equal to 1 plus x squared over 2 factorial plus x x cubed over 3 factorial and so on. For each real number x, it can be shown that the infinite series on the right converges to the number e raised to x. Definition of power series. If x is a variable, then an infinite series of the form summation of n is equal to 0 to infinite. A sub n x raised to n is equal to a0 plus a1 a sub 1x plus a sub 2x squared plus a sub 3x x cubed plus and so on is called a power series. More generally, an infinite series of the form the summation of n is equal to 0 to infinite. So a sub n times x minus c raised to n is equal to a sub 0 plus a sub 1 times x minus c plus a sub 2 times x minus c squared and so on is called a power series centered at c, where c is a constant. Example of a power series. The following power series is centered at 0. So n, the summation of n is equal 0 to infinity. So x raised to n over n factorial is equal to 1 plus x squared over 2 plus x cubed over 3 factorial and so on. The following power series is centered at negative 1. As you can see, summation of n is equal to 0 raised to infinity. So negative 1 raised to n times x plus 1 raised to n is equal to 1 negative times x plus 1 plus times x plus 1 squared minus x plus 1 cube and so on. The following power series is centered at 1. So the summation n is equal to 1 to infinity. So 1 over n times x minus 1 raised to n. So equals x minus 1 plus 1 half times x minus 1 squared plus 1/3 times x minus 1 cube and so on. Facts about power series. If c sub n raised to infinity, if n is equal to 0 is a sequence of number, then the n is equal to 0 raised to infinity is c sub n times x minus x sub 0 raised to n is called a power series about x sub 0. Then is a non-negative r the radius of convergence, which could be infinity, so that the power series converges for every x in x sub 0 minus r, or the radius of convergence, and x sub 0 plus r, and so that The power series diverges for every x not in x sub 0 minus r or x sub 0 plus r. For r less than infinity, to decide about converges at x sub 0 minus r x and x sub 0 plus r further converges tests for series are needed. Standard way to compute the radius of convergence for many series, apply the ratio test. The power series converges for all x for which limit n to infinity. So c sub n plus 1 x raised to n plus 1 over c sub n x raised to n less than 1, and it diverges for all x for which the limit is greater than 1. That's all. Thank you. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.